Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
Despite the fact that the signs of malfunction of the idle speed regulator are similar to the breakdowns of many other elements of the injector internal combustion engine, some symptoms directly indicate a malfunction of the idle speed sensor. Let's consider how to carry out diagnostics with your own hands and determine the faulty regulator. Signs of malfunction of the idle speed regulator. Symptoms of malfunction of the idle speed regulator: the engine does not hold the idle speed. In this case, the idle speed may jump, hang up, and then return to normal again. The engine is running at idle speed. The increased engine load is not compensated for. Difficult starting of the engine. If pressing on the gas makes starting easier, this is a sure sign of a malfunction of the RCH. Insufficient or no warm-up speed is maintained. The car stalls at idle. When you drop the gas, change gears. Roll in engine operation. To correctly recognize a breakdown of the regulator, you need to understand how the idle speed regulator works. In detail, we have already considered the device of the idle speed regulator and a brief diagnostic process, so now we will focus only on the role in the engine operation. In the life support system of the internal combustion engine, the idle speed sensor is used to regulate the supply of air flowing past the throttle valve, through the bypass channel, the beginning of which is located in front of the throttle valve. When many electrical consumers are switched on at once, the load on the alternator and, as a consequence, on the motor itself increases. In order to maintain stable idling and battery charging voltage, the throttle valve opens the channel, allowing more air into the internal combustion engine. In the same way, the increased revolutions at warming up of the internal combustion engine are realized. Failures of the idle speed regulator. The main faults of the idle speed regulator: power failure, the fault of which can be problems with wiring, oxidation of contacts in connectors. With an unreliable connection, such a malfunction manifests itself periodically, which can complicate the diagnostic process. Incorrect stroke of the stem due to dirt. Motor failure. O-ring breakage. Stem wear. The movement of the shutter of a serviceable VCF is without sticking, and there should be no slippage in the worm gear. To assess the condition of the stem and worm gear, we recommend you to see how to disassemble the fuel converter. Among the above-mentioned failures, stem contamination is the most common failure. During operation, dirt deposits accumulate in the channels of the throttle unit. If your car has not been cleaned for a long time, most likely, the problems with idling are associated with fouling on the regulator stem. In order to check the VCF, it is necessary to remove it from the throttle assembly. Carburetor cleaner can be used as a flush. We recommend not to allow critical contamination of the regulator stem, because the increased load on the electric motor can damage the elements of the control system of the RCH. There have been cases of electronic control unit (ECU) resistor failure due to current overload of the control channel. Most likely, the increased load was provoked by the resistance of dirt deposits and soot to the rod movement. The cost of a new resistor is ridiculous, but prompt determination of this type of malfunction requires diagnostic equipment as well as the qualifications of the master. Diagnosis of RCH. There are three types of idle stabilization system: solenoid, only 2 contacts in the connector; rotary, 3 contacts in the connector; stepper, 4 contacts in the connector. In the modern automotive industry, the stepper motor is most often used. At the heart of such a device is a ring magnet and 4 windings located at right angles relative to each other. Applying voltage to certain windings provokes rotary motion of the rotor, which moves the rod, shutter, through the worm gear. To determine the working RCH, you need to check the condition of the motor windings. To do this, you need to measure the resistance on the first two contacts and on the second two. For measurement you will need basic skills of multimeter, as well as the device itself. On pins A, B and C, D should be a resistance of 40 to 80 ohms. The lack of resistance will indicate a breakage. For VAZ the value is usually 50 to 53 ohm, on pins A and C, A and D, B and C, B and D should be infinitely large resistance, which will indicate the absence of a short circuit. A breakdown of this nature requires the purchase of a new VCF. To determine the breakage of power supply wires, it is necessary to dial the wiring with a multimeter in the resistance measurement mode. Check engine. Modern injection engine control systems are capable of registering some malfunctions of the idle speed sensor. For example, let's consider the registered deviation specified in the error mask list of faults that cause the check engine to light up of the VAS M7.9. 7 engine control unit under Euro 3 toxicity standards, P1509, overload of the idle speed control circuit, P1513, idle speed control circuit, shorted to ground, P1514, idle speed control circuit, open or shorted to plus 12V. Also, when decoding the error code may be listed as malfunction of the RCC. In this case, do not immediately buy a new regulator, because the problem may be in the power wires. The error codes can be read via the diagnostic socket using a special scanner. You can easily find deciphering codes on the internet. In most cases, thorough cleaning helps to postpone replacement. Most accurately and quickly determine the faulty idle speed regulator can be determined by monitoring its work in real time. This will require an oscilloscope, as well as the skills of a diagnostic IAN. It will not be possible to apply voltage to the sensor leads to watch the movement of the rod. The idler is controlled by pulse width modulation, PWM. There are special devices on sale for quick check of the PWM of VAZ cars. But their cost is too high, if we talk about the frequency of use in the repair of a personal car. On the forums of radio amateurs there are testers made with their own hands. Throttle linkage idle sensor circuit. In conclusion, recognizing a faulty idle speed regulator is crucial for maintaining your vehicle's performance and efficiency. By paying attention to symptoms such as erratic idling, stalling, or unusual engine noises, you can identify potential issues early on. Regular maintenance and diagnostic checks can help ensure that your idle speed regulator functions properly. If you suspect a problem, don't hesitate to consult a professional mechanic for a thorough inspection. Taking these steps will not only enhance your driving experience but also prolong the life of your engine. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.